hand here at GHCR, and my esteemed engineer, Doug Harris. Wow, Mr. Doug Frazier. Excuse me, Doug Frazier. I'm calling him Doug Harris. I'm thinking, because I had Herbert Harris the other day, and I got Stan Harris. I'm thinking Doug Harris. And I knew I had a friend named Doug Harris. He was a musician. And my guest today, ladies and gentlemen, he's a Black Belt Hall of Famer. He's the author of a book called Position to Prosper. And he's a 10th degree Black Belt. And he's also in the Motivational Speakers Hall of Fame. And just for your information, if you don't know who this is, he was endorsed by the great legendary Zig Ziglar. He was also endorsed by the one and the only Leslie Calvin Brown, Mr. Les Brown himself. How you doing today, brother Stan Harris?
Man, business is booming, checks are zooming. I'm happy on purpose, just like you.
Good. So you told me, I saw your video, you were talking about this guy that was giving you some insight, a guy by the name of Charlie Tremendous Jones, who I happened to meet on one occasion.
Yes.
I mean, that guy was something else. How did you get into the whole personal development world, motivational success game world? How did you get involved in that?
Well, actually, you know, when I became a Christian, to me, that really was the start of the personal development on a spiritual level, you know what I mean? Because there's places in the Bible, like for instance, Proverbs 16:32, he that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh the city. When you think about Proverbs 25:28, he that hath no rule over his own spirits like a city that's broken down and without walls. So it was beginning then to teach about the discipline, but the martial arts, we would say, for instance, if while you practice, you don't want to quit, you haven't really practiced, meaning you got to push your body until it says, I had enough. And the will says, oh, no, you haven't had enough yet. And so really that's personal development, right? And you as a boxer, you understand that, but that's discipline and personal development. Matter of fact, I love what they said to Muhammad Ali one time. They said, how many push-ups do you do? He said, I don't know. They said, what do you mean? He said, I don't even start counting until they hurt. But traveling the country, speaking and preaching in churches and using my martial arts demonstration to break boards and bricks, representing that we could break through hard things. But then I got involved in what's called network marketing. And then they would have me speaking for these different companies. And of course, I'd met Charlie Tremendous Jones, and you know, that man, that's matter of fact, can I give you a quick little thing he shared with me that changed my life?
Absolutely.
He said, man, he called me young Dr.Breaktrough. He said, now,
and I know what you're going to say, but go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So he said, you know why most people fail? I said, no, sir. I said, I know what I think, but you're the mentor. So let's go with what you say. He said, most people fail because they do not have a plan. I said, okay. He said, now, would you like to know why most people that have a plan fail? I was like, wait a minute, wait. So you just said the main reason people fail is because they don't have a plan. But now you're saying the main reason people with a plan, you're saying most of them fail. He said, yes. Would you like to know why? I was like, okay, sure. He said, because they stick to their plans. I was like, what? He said, it's got to be flexible planning. He said, because man, life's going to hit you. He said, and you got to learn to bob and to weave. And he said, so number one, people aren't successful because they don't have a plan. But then once people get a plan, what stops them from being successful is because they want to stick to their plan no matter what. And what happens is you always have to readjust and pivot and change. And isn't exactly that what we're going through now with what's going on in our country, my friend, and all over the world? But that was a piece of advice to me. As a matter of fact, I put it this way: blessed are the flexible, for they shall not be bent out of shape. And a bend in the road is not the end of the road unless you refuse to turn. But you have the home-based business industry and starting to speak for them. That's where I really got involved in the personal development. And, you know, I've been blessed, as I think you mentioned it, travel and speak with Jim Rohn, who was known as the foremost business philosopher, and, you know, Zig and all these other guys. And that really, between the discipline of the martial arts and personal development, that's what really changed my life.
Okay, you just said a lot there. Let me admit, when you're wrong, you have to admit it. I thought you were gonna say something else, so you got me there. I thought you were gonna talk about the quote. I want you to say the quote that you got from Charlie Tremendous Jones about the
yes.
people you meet in the books you read.
Sure.
You know
So he made this famous. He said, "You'll be the same you are today, 5 years from now, except for the books you read and the people you meet." Well, because we spent so much time together, my brother, I added a little piece. So I put a little spin on it. And so I said, you'll be the same you are today, 5 years from now, except for the books you read, the people you meet, and the seminars you attend. Ooh, come on now.
And the radio shows you listen to.
Oh, there you go.
Or podcasts, yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
And by the way, folks, if you're listening to a good one, because Ricky, he the brother like no other. He the master disaster, can't say it no faster. He's too strong to be weak, too sweet to be sour. He can't take credit as all God's power. Come on, man.
Okay, so I know you do a lot of interviews, so I got to take it to a different place. First of all, do you know anything about the game of basketball?
Yes, sir.
Can you play a little bit?
Yes, sir.
Because my engineer, he's like he played with the NBA players. I mean, some of the great ones he played with.
Yeah, I was never that good, but I could kick a basketball. I could kick the net though.
Okay, that's kind of fly.
So I want you to give me. I was good at blocking shots.
Okay. Now I want you to give me your motivational success team starting five. If they could be living or dead, or living or passed on, but your starting five, your motivational success team, your top five, like boom.
Okay, top five. Number one, Bill Bailey.
Bill who?
Bill Bailey. William E. Bailey.
I don't know him.
So, yeah, William E. Bailey is the one who mentored Jim Rohn in the early days. William E. Bailey is a guy who had a company called Best Line Products that was making $64 million a month in the 70s. No email, no fax machine. I mean, you talking about a bad boy, man. Rolls Royce, all kind of stuff back then. As a matter of fact, he mentored not just Jim Rohn. So it'd be Bill Bailey, Jim Rohn, obviously, who's before he passed, he was known as the foremost business philosopher in the world. And of course, Les Brown, and Setback, Les, and then Willie Jolly with the Setback as a setup for comeback. And then I would have to say Earl Nightingale, The Strangest Secret. Oh my goodness.
Wait. You said Les Brown.
So Bill Bailey.
Okay, Bill Bailey, number one, yeah.
Jim Rohn.
Okay.
Yeah, Jim Rohn. And then I said Les Brown.
Les Brown,
And who did I say after that?
Setback is a setback for a comeback.
Willie Jolly. I'm gonna have to give you six. Okay, let me. I may have to put Charlie Tremendous Jones. No, I got to put Charlie Tremendous Jones in there first, man, and then let's close out. Charlie Tremendous Jones. So Bill Bailey, William E. Bailey, Jim Rohn, Les Brown, and who else did I say?
Willie Jolly, Jim Rohn. That's five. That's five right there. You said you were gonna name six. You asked for six. I got to give you a six man. You want a six man? I'm gonna give you a six man.
Okay.
I'll give you a six man.
Okay.
You want a six man? Take a six man. Yeah.
Because you got to have a man that you can throw in there. You know what I mean? Whenever you can. And that would be Martin Luther King's mentor, who was the president of Morehouse. He said these words, "I've only just a minute, only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon me, can't refuse it. I didn't seek it, I didn't choose it, but it's up to me to use it. I must suffer if I lose it, give account if I abuse it. Just a tiny little minute, but an eternity's in it." Dr. Benjamin Mays. That boy was bad.
Yes.
Dr. Benjamin
You know he was. I noticed that you don't have any women on your list.
I thought about that.
Is there a reason for that?
Well, because when you talk about motivation, and it's because I was inspired by those. I mean, my mom is my number one mentor, coach, whatever, But these were the ones, as far as the ones that had influence and had impact in my life. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, let me. You mind if I give you my team?
Man, you know what? Could you please give me your team, my brother, and make sure you got some women in there.
Well, are you familiar with Robert E. Kreiner, Mr. Enthusiasm?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah. So I did interview him the other day, and he had 3 women on his team.
Wow.
He had 3. Yeah, he had 3 of them. So mine is Napoleon Hill.
Okay. Yes.
Jim Rome, who I actually met on 2 occasions. Herbert Harris, your buddy, your brother.
12 universal laws.
And Les Brown, I can't leave out Les Brown. Les Brown opened the door as far as this whole personal development thing. He was the first guy I seen doing it like the way where I see it now. So Les Brown got to be in there. And then last but not least, Lisa Nichols.
Oh yes.
There was a program I went to. I went to 3 times. This program, they in the program they came with the idea for Chicken Soup for the Soul. In that program, she went to that program 42 times. And when they came out with the books, Chicken Soup for the Soul, she was in Chicken Soup for the African American Soul, and then she was in Chicken Soup for the African American Woman's Soul, and she was in The Secret.
Yeah.
And then it was like boom, that was it, man. She was gone. See ya.
Yeah.
She's gone. So I gotta put Lisa in there.
Oh,
I met her on a couple of occasions. Personally, I met her a couple of times. So I had to put Lisa in there. And then, now wait a minute, so.
Because nobody can tell a story like Lisa now.
Yeah. So I gave you 5, but my favorite number is 7. I was born on the 7th month, 7th day. So I'm taking 2 more. Willie Jolly.
Yes.
Of course. That's my man, Willie Jolly, and Dr. Dennis Kimbrough.
Oh, yeah. We just recently spoke together, but yes.
Yeah. So that's my team. I had to put Lisa in there, man. Like I said, because Herbert Harris had no women. I said, man, you ain't got no women in your team. So,
well, but here's the thing I think you gotta keep in mind. When you said that to me, I thought you meant from the standpoint of the ones who touched me, right?
Yeah.
My team, right? So Lisa didn't have, like, a lot of women weren't being promoted big time in the personal development space until 10, 15 years ago or so. You know what I mean? So by that time, it was already set. Well,
let me give you Robert's team. Maya Angelou was his first. He said that was his point guard.
In personal development?
That's personal development.
Okay.
The stuff that she taught, yeah.
Okay.
Phenomenal woman, that's personal development all the way.
Okay.
Napoleon Hill, Les Brown, Tony Robbins, and his 5th was Louise Hay. You familiar with Louise Hay?
Not familiar at all.
Yeah, she's pretty. She made a transition a few years ago. She's pretty powerful, man. Look up Louise Hay.
Okay.
And then his 6th was Dolly Waters.
Yes.
This is Robert because she helped
Speak and Grow Rich.
Yeah, Speak and Grow Rich. There you go. Yeah. So, do you think it's important to have those people like that to see and have as people you can look at and learn from as teachers and teammates?
Yeah, of course. Now, again,
the
greatest book ever written, Jeremiah 5:5 says, "I'll get me unto the great men who've known the way of the Lord." And obviously the word man means mankind. But in the Proverbs, Solomon said, 13:20, "He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed." So the people you spend time with are going to affect you. Either their wisdom will rub off on you, or if you're around fools. So yeah, being around people in the personal development space is going to help you to grow. It's going to help you and stir something in you. I mean, being around Charlie Tremendous Jones, right? Being around these guys, like I was like, man. But yeah, it was all about personal growth. And that's, I just did my broadcast where I had a guest on, This guy had never finished the 9th grade, right? But he went on to become a multimillionaire. Why? All because of personal development and personal growth. And so that's the most important thing, is your personal development and your personal growth. And so, yes, to spend time with people that can influence you and that can empower you. That's the most beautiful thing, is because a true mentor is what I often say. A mentor can see in you what you can't see in yourself. So a mentor is someone who's been where you've never been, who's maybe done some things you've never done, but most importantly, can see in you what you can't see in you. That's what's powerful.
And can you have a mentor that has passed on? They might have done some great work.
Oh,
they might have passed on.
Oh, of course. And a lot of my mentors are through books also, and so forth. But yeah, you got living mentors, but you got mentors through books and through films and so forth. But yes, so a mentor is someone who, again, everybody has a different voice, and people turn and tune into that. Like to some people, man, I'm like over the top. I'm like too over the top for some people. And other people, when they hear me, they're like, dude, man, this guy's energy is off the chart. And so, as a matter of fact, I had somebody call me the other day, and I answered the phone. They're like, no, I didn't want you to answer the phone. Said, I got a friend of mine that was discouraged. And I said, if you just hear this man's answer machine, it's going to make your day. So can I make a request? Can you hang up? I'm going to call back, and please don't answer. We want to hear your voice message.
Yeah. Well,
so you're right. So different people are tuned in to different frequencies and grab a hold of different things, and that's the power of it, man. Because there's some people, man, your voice, it gets them. They're like, man, anybody else can say it, but we don't get it. But when Ricky Young says it, we got it. We got it.
Right. So now what I learned from Robert E. Kreiner, he made the E Mr. Enthusiasm. So my middle initial is W. I said, well, I got to figure out what I want to. So, and you just said it just now. I said, I'm going to go with, I'm seeking, searching for, studying. I want to learn more about this thing called wisdom. And you said it twice.
Come on.
Twice just now.
Wisdom is the principle. Wisdom is the principal thing. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that's what I'm going to take my W and make that study wisdom.
Right.
Learn this thing called wisdom. Yeah.
Can I give you a quick little tip, by the way? So I ask people, how old are you? And they'll say, like, 54 years old. And I was like, okay, so never use the word old again. If you're 54, say, I'm 54 years wise. Man, that just do something for you.
Right. There you go.
I figure once you hit 40, you ought to have some wisdom. So I always tell people, don't use the word old, right? Don't prophesy that on yourself. Use the word wise, right? So I tell people I'm 59 years wise. That just makes me feel good.
When's your birthday?
November 23rd, 1960. That's a good year.
You just missed Scorpio, man.
I know. One day I'm right on the edge, man.
Right. So you're a Christian, right? You're a Christian, right? Can you see that photograph? Can you see that behind me, that picture? Can you see what that is? Can you make that out? Can you make it out?
I can.
Can we get closer?
Yeah, I may have to. Is that the picture left?
Can you see it?
Okay. Is that like the Last Supper?
That's the Last Supper.
Okay.
That's the Last Supper.
Yes, sir.
My uncle, who made this transition, he did that when he was away. He was doing time.
Okay.
He was behind bars. My beloved uncle, and he did that. And I don't know. That's kind of special, man. I love that.
Wow.
I love that photograph. Did you really take a good look at it?
Well, I in between my eyes and the, it's a little bit far away, so I couldn't. It looked like somebody are they laying on the?
I'm gonna get closer.
Okay, there you go.
Get closer. You see it now?
Yes, sir. It's. I mean, they look like they're supposed to look. So I don't know what you're pointing out, bro.
Okay.
Hey, here's the way I say it: fleecy locks and black complexion cannot forfeit nature's claim. Skin may differ, but affection dwells, and black and white the same. Rise so tall as to reach the pole, to glance at the ocean at a span. I must be measured by my soul. The mind is the standard of a man. You know, one day what changed my life was when it dawned on me, it's not the color of my skin, texture of my hair, the neighborhood I grew up with, whether dad left when I was 3, never came, never called, never sent a dime. No, what matters, like you said, is that personal development is what you're putting in here and what you're putting in here, my friend. Matter of fact, here's what Dr. Breaktrough says. What you put in your head that affects your heart determines what comes to your hand. And if you want more coming to your hand, you got to put more in your head that affects your heart. Oh, come on, somebody.
Now, you live in Texas.
Yes, sir. Just north of Dallas, originally from Pennsylvania, Harrisburg. Now I'm in Texas.
What's it like? What's it like out there in Texas, man? What is it like? I've been there. I think I went to. I was in Texas, Fort Worth, for like split second, passing through.
My oldest son lives there.
Yeah, but let me just tell you a quick story. I was in Fort Worth, and where I grew up at here in Harlem, during the time the Jets and the Giants was like, so we all had different teams from different cities. And I used to like the Cowboys, but then I was with the Cowboys. So I went in the store, a little shop. They had pieces of turf from the Cowboys championships, different games that they had won. So I said something, said something bad about the Cowboys. The lady behind the counter looked at me, and that look she gave me, I ain't say another word after that. I did not say another word. I mean, they take their football serious over there, man.
Hey,
she gave me the look like, huh?
They let church out, or they'll put a big screen in the church so they don't miss the games.
Wow.
Yeah, they serious, man.
How's the economy over there in that area, like, the Dallas area, the Texas, different around the area where you are? How's the economy?
Always booming, man. I'm right up the road from me. It's called the $1 billion corridor. They got $1 billion worth of building going on. It's incredible, man. So, and then property value here is just it's crazy good, So, and then like Deion Sanders was not far from here. But he had a 33,000 square foot place and just beautiful. But then he had this cattle, and I couldn't figure out, like, dude, why would you have this beautiful sprawling mansion, and why would you have cattle? Well, here in Texas, when you have cattle, it's like then there's no tax, land taxes. Like, so these guys are slick, man. So even if they got to get, just to cut one or two something, get a horse, something, to cut off those taxes, man. So, and then people like from California, for instance, a lot of them are moving here. What they paid for a house in California, they can buy it cash here and have enough for another house. And so, yeah, it's pretty hit. It's booming here, man. Now it's a little hot sometimes, especially in the summertime. Get a little hot, man. Get a little hot, but yeah, man. But other than that, man. But me, I love it wherever I live, man. I used to live grew up in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I love that, right? We lived in Florida for a while. I love that. I just love. Well, first of all, I love me. For a long time I didn't like me, and that was a breakthrough when I finally realized, if God could be perfect and He knows all my imperfections, and if He loves me, why can't I love myself? That was one of the biggest breakthroughs, man. And then it was crazy because then people started liking me. I couldn't figure it out, and then it dawned on me, man. That's back to that personal development piece. It was a reflection. Most people view you the way you view yourself. So when I didn't like myself, people didn't like me. When I didn't like my speaking, people didn't like my speaking. When I became my favorite speaker, I started becoming other people's favorite speaker. Not long ago, before this pandemic hit, or plandemic is, but anyway, I showed up speaking. I said, hey, y'all, I had to show up today because one of my favorite speakers was speaking, and I had to go hear him. I had to make sure I was here to hear him. And they were looking like, okay, which one of the guys you talking about? I was like, me. and so they kind of chuckled. And I said, you're chuckling, and some of you may take it as arrogance, but it's actually true. I was like, I'm going to tell y'all something. When I didn't like my speaking, nobody else. Now I've been paid as much as $47,000 to speak 1 hour. Nobody was paying me money back when I didn't like me. When I started liking me, for my children, different individual times came up and said, have I ever told you that you my favorite speaker? You know, my wife, have you ever told, right? But so what we got to understand, and I'm not talking about in the arrogant sense, but here's one of the reasons why I say that, by the way. I don't know what other speakers do. Here's what I do. When something changes my life, I track it and make a lesson out of it and speak on it. So I'm speaking out of a changed life, out of the overflow of what changed me. And I have a deep conviction that people now should implement what I'm saying, because if it changed me, it could change them. And so anyway, but I'm telling you, whoever you are right now, you're listening. You got to start liking you. You got to start liking you. And I'm telling you, most people view you the way you view yourselves. So if you have a low view of yourself, no wonder other people are looking down on you. So you have to recognize, I'm no better than anyone else. I'm no less than anyone else. But you know what, my friend? I'm somebody special because I'm the only one of my kind. I mean, I'm a special limited edition. Remember those cars, different cars, 400 model, only 400 made, only 5,000. Well, you're the only one that was made just like you, my friend. And so, yes, so enjoy that. But let me stop, man, be quiet and come back in and let's go with you.
No. That's believe me, that is beautiful, man. Those are some beautiful words. And I just want to say, man, what you bring to the world is a definite amazing blessing, man. And keep that enthusiasm, keep that energy, because that's who you are, man.
Right.
I don't think you could bring it I think you should keep it the way it is, man. That works for you. That's who you are, man. You help people get breakthrough.
GHCR, Grant Houses Community Radio,
that's the
home
station
of
ID.
Community News Service.
And Robert he said this wonderful quote for me. I was looking for it, and I couldn't find it. I'm looking for it. But let me just I want to ask you a question. Here we go. You are a divine expression of God.
Come on.
Got that from Robert, Mr. Enthusiasm.
Yes. That's good.
So the other day, Friday, I'm on the bus, and I ran into this guy, and we're talking. I'm not going to give you the whole story, just parts of it. I want you to just break this down for me. He said, yo, you dropped this? And he picked it up and gave it to me. It was a check. I said, no, it's not mine. Check. It was a check for $900. So I tried to give it to the bus driver, because we have this thing in New York now where they have a plastic, you can't connect to the bus driver. So when I got out my stop, which was a couple of stops afterwards, I knocked on the door. He opened the door. I said, hey, I had found this check on the bus. He says, did one of these. He said, there's a dispatcher right there in the corner. So I went to the dispatcher, tried to give him the check. He says, did one of these. I said, oh, no. I'm stuck with a $900 check. Like, oh, man. So I looked at the name on the check, and then I started doing my Google stuff, and I found the guy was a judge, and the check who it belonged to, the guy had dropped it on the bus. And that night, I was able to put that check in his hand.
Wow.
Mr. Breakthrough, Dr. Breaktrough, I was able to put that check in his hand. And do you know how I felt? Do you know how he felt?
Yes.
And my thing was, I put a deposit in my bank account, my Good Deeds bank account. Can you speak to that? Can you speak to that, Dr. Breakthrough?
Yeah,
doing good deeds.
Yeah, we got to get back to that, man. That's there was a time when people looked out for each other, right? And it's called old-fashioned integrity. As a matter of fact, I tell people, the greatest book ever written. Again, I'm not just a martial artist. I'm also a minister and a marketer. So I got. But it says, but a lot of Christian people. Here's what they love to hear: "For by grace are you saved through faith, and that not of yourselves." It's the gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast. But here they forget the next verse, verse 10. For we are His workmanship, created under Christ Jesus unto good works, which God hath before ordained that we should walk in them. Meaning that He made us and put us a task for us. There's a bunch of good works that we're supposed to be doing. And it's our job to find those good deeds, to find those good works and to do them. And so that's exactly what you're doing, what you're saying, but most people, they're missing that part, my friend. So yes, my life, my friend, my life is all about empowering other people. As a matter of fact, I've dedicated my life to educating, elevating, and empowering people to break through any barrier that would hinder their success. And I do that by empowering them to break to the best version, or at least a better version of themselves. So I'm constantly bringing value to people's lives, constantly, again, doing those good deeds. You know, as a matter of fact, they say Good Samaritan in the Bible. The Bible never even used the word good. It says certain Samaritan. See, he was just the average, everyday guy doing what average, everyday, decent people do, right? And that
when you
is,
say he, you mean who?
Well, in the Bible, it talks about the Samaritan.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So
okay.
There was a story, but most people call it the Good Samaritan, right?
Mm.
They always say the Good Samaritan. That's nowhere in the text. It never says Good Samaritan. It says a certain Samaritan. So this is not some special good guy. This is an average, everyday guy. This is a you and me. This is a whoever you are out there. And he saw a need, so he did what he did to take care of the need. But it's so strange to people that they're like, oh, he's a good Samaritan. No, he's just a certain Samaritan. And each and every one of us, if we would get busy of just being kind, if we would get busy of just showing love, just showing respect. As a matter of fact, that's one reason why I talked about loving myself, because see, most people don't have love for other people because they don't love themselves. They don't like themselves. Literally, they hate themselves. And so because they have such turmoil against themselves, they can't treat you right. But man, when you, but when you understand you are special in the eyes of God, you're specially designed, then you also understand everybody else is as well. And so we treat them right, we do right. And I love, like I said, what you did, because you not only made his day and your day, but you also challenged that bus driver. You challenged whoever else saw you in that process. They're like, wait a minute, this guy, most people just snatch this thing up and try to, no, this guy said, no, let me find out who this belongs to and give it back to him. But you're also, when you did that, you're sowing a seed of a harvest that you're going to reap, my friend. When something akin to that happens to you, then you've already sown that seed that you reap a harvest, right? So it's beautiful. I commend you for it, man. And we need more people like you. So when people, you talk about, if you want to say make America, that's would be making America great. If we get back to being humble, if we get back to helping our neighbor, in loving our neighbor as ourselves, and treating each other with respect and dignity and kindness. And I always keep telling people, man, it ain't but one race. It's the human race. There's different hues, but only one race is the human race. And so we're all technically brothers and sisters. And so let's love on each other. Let's build each other up. Let's look for ways that we can bless other people.
Yeah. So I can still hear you. I'm just going to change my headset, but I'm going to tell you a quick story. I can still hear you. I'm going to step away from the camera for a minute. But my sister, her daughter was born in September 23rd.
Okay.
And so she told me that it was a special Bible verse. It was a special Bible verse from on that day. So I decided, you know what? My birthday, 7/7. Let me see what it says.
Matthew 7:7. Ask.
Yo, man, it blew me away, man.
Seek and ye shall find. Knock and it shall be open.
Yeah.
For everyone that asketh, receiveth. To him that seeketh, find. By the way, you know what my verse is? I call that birthday verse, by the way. And I've been teaching people to do that. So I'm November 23rd. So my birthday verse is Mark 11:23. Whosoever shall say unto this mountain, be thou removed, and be thou cast into the sea, and shall not doubt in his heart, but shall believe that those things which he saith shall come to pass, he shall have whatsoever he saith. And man, every day, by the way, every day, my phone goes off at 11:23. Every day at 11:23. And when my phone goes off at 11:23, I quote that verse and claim it.
Wow.
Because the
wow.
power of words. Muhammad Ali had the most powerful quote I've ever heard in my life. And it's so sad that most people heard the first part and stopped. And that is, he said, I said I was the greatest. Well, that's not the best part. Here's the best part. Nobody ever remembers it. He said, I said I was the greatest. Here it is now. Are you ready?
I'm listening.
A long time before I ever believed it. Ooh, come on now. See, he said, I said I was the greatest, but watch this, a long time before I ever believed. In other words, he wanted to believe he was the greatest, and he wanted, so he said, if I say it long enough, maybe I'll hear it and I'll believe it. And once I believe it, I'll act upon it. So how long is a long time? I don't know. Is that 2 months? Is that 2 years? I don't know. But I just know one thing, my friend. I learned to start saying to people, and I wrote in my book, Your Breakthrough is Guaranteed. You got to learn to visualize vividly, verbalize voraciously. That means with passion. So you can one day materialize automatically, right? But when Muhammad Ali said, I said I was the greatest a long time before I ever believed it, I was like, man, my life was changed forever. I learned to start saying not what is, but saying what I want. And that's so powerful because again, the good book says there's death and life in the power of the tongue. I mean, I don't know about you, but I've had times, man, where I've just really put in the hours, man, especially when you got projects you're doing. And even like last night, I was up 2 something in the morning, but you know, and you're feeling okay, but somebody says, hey, Doc, you look a little tired, man. You okay? Yeah, I'm fine. And then somebody else, you know, you're going through the day, someone says, hey, are you doing okay? Did you get enough sleep? And you know what? After what you can say, you know what? I didn't really get enough sleep. Oh, goodness. Matter of fact, I'm tired. What happened? Death and life and the power of the tongue. They spoke. You look tired. They spoke. So you got to learn to use the power of your tongue to turn that around. And can I tell you the most powerful story about my mama about this? So I got in a lot of trouble growing up. You know, some of us just wanted to get attention, didn't know how to get it being good. So being bad really got the attention, right? Now, sometimes the wrong attention, but it got the attention. And I never forget my mom worked, my dad, like I said, he had left. And so she was working to take care of all of us boys by herself. And thank God for faithful mothers like that. But at any rate, I got kicked out of school. Two guys, well, put it this way. I got about to get kicked out of public school. And so my mama put me in Catholic school to try to reform me, right? So she put me in Catholic school. So we already was poor. And so now she's paying money and now 2 guys jumped me and I beat them up, but the nuns didn't see them get beaten on me, saw me. And so I got kicked out of school. So I come home, my mom's like, because she worked midnights and she was sleeping. She's like, what are you doing home? And I was like, I got kicked out of school. She said, boy, you about to drive me to an early grave. Oh my goodness. She's like, I'm doing the best I can to try to raise you boys. I don't have a man to help me. And she said, but you know what? She said, but I know. And then she started crying. One day you're going to make me proud of you, boy. And I just know you are. And man, it was like something hit my heart, man. It was like, I mean, because my mom was rough, man. She raised 5 boys, so she had to be rough, right? Wow. So mama was rough, and I never seen mama cry. And here she starts crying, and she says, "But I know one day you're gonna make me proud of you." Now my mom's in heaven now, but here's what I can tell you: from that day, I never got in trouble another day in school. Graduated top of the class, went off to college, graduated, who's who, top of the class, so forth and all that. And they did postgraduate work. They hired me to become a professor, traveling all over the world speaking. And never forget, my mom was with me at one event where I was speaking. And she said to me, she said, son, she's like, you are such an incredible man. She's like, matter of fact, I'm honored just to know a man of your stature. I said, Mom, you're just reaping the harvest of the seeds that you sowed. And she's like, she's like, what do you mean? I said, you remember that time I got in trouble and I got kicked out of school and you were telling me I'm driving you to an early grave and blah, blah, blah. And then you stopped and you started crying. You said, but I know one day you're going to make me proud. I said, when you said that, I determined I was going to live to hear you tell me that you're proud of me. So you're just getting the seeds that you sow. You see how powerful words are?
Right. Look at that. That's amazing. That story right here is gonna make a difference with a lot of people. You're gonna be surprised. That's a powerful story,
Well,
especially coming from moms.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, let me tell you one about my wife. When I married my wife, I call her my ABCD. By the way, can I tell you what ABCD stands for?
Yeah.
Adorable brown caramel delight. Yes. But anyway, so my wife Nadia, I call her my adorable brown caramel delight. But when we got married, she started calling me her king. She's like my king, and I'm like, I'm not, man. I'm like, babe. I mean, I appreciate that, but but she kept calling me her king. And then one day, guess what? I started calling her my queen. Now watch this. Here's what happened. She knew who she was. She said, now, if this brother's not all the way up to speed on who he is, I'm going to keep calling it until he catches it.
Wow.
Now, so watch this. I tell women that every man, there's a king and a fool. And you get a chance to pull out and exonerate, to pull out or exaggerate or to blow up what you want. She ignored the fool in me, kept calling the king out of me, and she got what she called. Come on, somebody.
Wow.
Come on.
Yeah. That's
and
amazing, man.
Parents, we got to start doing that with our children. I mean, I never forget my oldest son one time did something, and he was like, I said, son, that ain't even you. That ain't even you. I'm persuaded a lot better than that. That's not even, And so from the time all my children, I called them champion. Hey, you're a champion. You're an overcomer. You're a champion, right? And so the power of words, as a matter of fact, I put together something called a daily breakthrough attitude adjuster. It's something that I give. It helps me to get in the right frame of mind, and it gets me so fired up I can barely take it. So can I give this to your audience?
Oh,
it's
yeah,
about
definitely.
2 minutes. Okay. Wow, what a great day to be alive. I feel dynamite. I like me. I love me. I accept me. I'm going to have a super fantastic day today because I'm too blessed to be depressed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too glad to be sad, too anointed to be disappointed. I'm too elated to be agitated. I'm too legit to quit, too grounded to be confounded, too grateful to be hateful, too gifted to be restricted, too legit to quit, and too saved not to be getting paid. Circumstances are aligning themselves in my favor. I'm healthy, physically fit, and intellectually equipped. I have wisdom far beyond my years. I'm an extraordinary person with incredible abilities that I will use to add value to people's lives, knowing that as I empower other people to reach their dreams, I will automatically reach my own. I anticipate meeting the person or group of people today who are willing to use their power, wealth, or influence to empower me to reach my dreams. All day long, people will go out of their way to bless me. Today, I will add great value to someone's life. I will show compassion to those in need. I will give strength to the weak and inspiration to the weary. Someone needs what I have to offer, and I gladly make myself available. I embrace abundance, and it embraces me. I'm abundant in every good way. I am an abundance magnet. I like money. It likes me and is attracted to me from many sources because money is a way of keeping score of how many people's lives are added value to. Money flows freely and frequently from expected and unexpected sources in exchange for the value that I consistently bring to the marketplace. I may have been broke, busted, and disgusted, but now I declare that I'm rich, growing, and overflowing. My business is booming, checks are zooming, and I'm happy on purpose. I'm experiencing great victories, supernatural turnarounds, and miraculous breakthroughs in the midst of great impossibilities. I am an overcomer. And if my mountain can't be removed, I'll develop and practice my mountain climbing skills. If life knocks me down, like Les Brown says, I'll fall on my back, realizing that as long as I can look up, by the grace of God, I can get up. I'll turn life's lemons into lemonade. I commit to paying for my dreams with preparation and perspiration so I won't have to live with my nightmares of regret. I do not procrastinate because procrastination leads to devastation. It is the assassination of my destination. Thus, I will act now. I'm a doer. I get results to last. I now release the champion that is inside of me. I am the leader that multitudes of people are looking for. So I choose to succeed today and every day hereafter. Watch out, world. Here I come. Man, when I say that, come on, somebody.
Wow. Now, you know, that goes back to what I said earlier, what Robert Kramer said. You a divine expression of God. Could you imagine, think about this, that God would give us something so magnificent on this planet. Man, how cool is that? Look what, you can't really argue with God too tough. Look what he gave us.
Come on.
Dr. Breaktrough, Stan Harris, Dr. Breaktrough. I mean, come on, man.
Hey, but watch this,
with God.
But here's what I say, man. But if you can spot it, it's because you got it. Come on, somebody. See, some people don't see the greatness because they ain't got it. But when you got it, you can spot it. Ooh.
Wow.
So that's why you don't worry about haters. By the way, haters. Can I give my acronym for haters real quick?
Absolutely.
HATERS. Having animosity toward everyone reaching success. Ooh. See, the great don't hate, the great celebrate. Oh.
That's right. And it's time to celebrate. It's definitely time to celebrate. Even in a pandemic. How about that?
Exactly. That's the only way you get out of it is by, come on, somebody. See, they're trying to keep our mind focused on things that are creating fear and distrust and hatred and division and strife and all that, which is breaking down people's health, breaking down people's well-being, breaking it all down. No, you got to learn to start listen, in spite of all this, my friend, by the way, I told my wife one time, I said, baby, if I didn't have a dime, I'd still be a rich man being married to you. Come on now. but what I'm saying, but when you understand though, the richness that we have in life, I mean, I got 2 eyes, an ear. I mean, I got 5 senses, right? I mean, that's incredible. I've got the power of a free will, right? I mean, I get the power to choose. I still live in a free country. They now try to take a lot of our freedoms away, but hey, we still got more freedoms here than any place else. I've been in 28 different countries, spoken in all 50 states, 28 countries. And every time I leave the country, my friend, and that plane comes back here, man, I'll be like, yeah, it was good to be gone, but it's better coming back, right? And so, so think about all the things that we have, these modern conveniences, right? I mean, bro, look at this. I mean, this thing we call phone, it used to be 13, 14 different devices, and now it's all boiled down into one. The conveniences we have, right? So you gotta start thinking about, in spite of focusing on what you can't do, focus on what you can do and what you do have and what you can be thankful for, and you can thank yourself out of a funk. Just be thankful.
Now, you know, John Lewis just had this memorial service.
Incredible. Yes.
Did you see the service? Did you get a chance to watch it?
Oh, yes.
You did. Watching that service, what stood out for you? Give me something that really had an impact on you. I know the whole thing was powerful, but just give me one thing that really stood out for you in that service.
Well, this is a little different. Well, let me do 2 things because one's going to be a lot different. But the one was what we talked about earlier, though, the fact of the good deeds that this man did, the legacy that left of he could have said, look, I'm like a living legend. I did all that stuff. Now let me let these. No, he is still fighting, still making a difference, still stepping in for the underdog, still, you know what I mean? But the thing that really hit me though was when the woman got up there, 91, 92, whatever, and she talked about she decided she's gonna get him married off. You remember hearing that story?
Oh yeah.
And so she's like, and so she said, she's like, I don't even think John even asked her. They got married. I said, y'all gonna get. So what that made me think of is the power of a made up mind. The power of a mind that's made up and the influence that this little woman had that was so powerful, of this powerful man that was going to influence the world, right? And here she came in and she said, so I got my, so yeah, I think John is for you and you should be for, ladies, well, I don't really know if I like him. Oh, hush, girl, you.
There was another lady on the set too. She was like, oh, don't worry about her. I'll take care of her.
Exactly.
How about that part? Yeah. I'll take care of that. Don't worry about that.
I'll get her out of the way. And by the way, we got rid of her. But I'm saying, but whatever happened to people having that kind of determination again, that kind of, see, I got what's called a 21-day breakthrough challenge. And by the way, I'm endeavoring to empower a million or more people to experience one or more breakthroughs, which is exploding through barriers that at one time seemed insurmountable. So I want to empower by 2024, 1 million or more people to experience one or more breakthroughs through what I call 21-day breakthrough challenge. So I took 40 years of my best teaching, preaching, thought process on breakthrough, and I put it in 3 to 5 minute videos because everybody's busy, right? But everybody can watch a quick, I call it micro coaching, 3 to 5 minute videos. Well, one of those videos on day number 4, I've had so many people say, the price of this training, day 4 is worth 10 times the price of the whole training. I've had more people create money, millionaires, and miracles from this one quote from day 4. Can I give it to you? Absolutely free.
Absolutely. Yeah. Come on, man.
Once I make up my mind to do something, God will orchestrate circumstances to align themselves in my favor. When I say I can't, my mind stops trying. But when I ask, how can I? My mind keeps searching till it finds a way. There is a way, and I will find it. And if not, by the grace of God, I'll invent it. Come on, let me say that again, because somebody needs to pick up what I'm putting down. Come on, somebody. See, I'm telling you, because so many today people are they're like double-minded and they're back and forth, and we keep plucking up in doubt what we planted by faith. Oh, wait a minute, say that. We keep plucking up in doubt what we planted in faith. So you got to get this in your crawl. Once I make up my mind, and I make people personalize it to say that, once Stan Harris makes up his mind to do something, God will orchestrate circumstances to align themselves in his favor. When Stan says I can't, his mind stops trying. But when he asks, how can I? His mind keeps searching till it finds a way. There's a way, and I will find it. And if not, by the grace of God, I will invent it. See, Benjamin Disraeli said, nothing can resist the human will, which will stake even its existence on the extent of its purpose. And we have too many wishy-washy, one day we're going through something, next day, no, my friend, we got to get some people, Charlie Tremendous Jones used to call, being spizzerinctum, but having the commitment to back it up, my friend, because the commitment takes over when the energy, when the high feeling good leaves, the commitment keeps you going and keeps you going. And when we get people committed to doing good works again, when we get people committed to being kind again, when we get people committed to finding somebody they can speak life into again, when we get people committed that, listen, my life is not just going to be what they think is going to be. No, I'm going to make my life what I know it ought to be. So don't get me preaching. I apologize. I'm about to take an offering.
Wow. We at the end, pretty much at the end. Let me get your website and how people can reach you.
Okay. So they can reach me by cell phone, 717 area code, 717-275-3508. So 717-275-3508. Now, if you call me.
You giving out your cell phone number.
I'm giving out my cell phone, man. Listen, yeah. We ain't got nothing to hide, bro. Listen, I love speaking for people. Listen, first of all, because I love speaking because I love to see the light go off in people's eyes or to hear people say, man, what you said, it changed my life, right? So any speaking engagement, I would love to take it. But here's what I'm saying, though. Call me. And then my website is just drbreaktrough.com, www.dr, like for DR, and then break, BREAK, through THROUGH, drbreaktrough.com. And if you want to get a free lesson, if you want to get a free training from me, you can go to my special mentoring site because people all over the world have asked me to mentor them. So you can go to theinternet.mentor.com. And there's
wow, you got that.
Yeah, the Internet Mentor, and there's oh yeah, man. And there's two things you can get for free. One, you gotta get this, is called The Art of Selling Without Selling, or How to Sell Without Being a Sellout. Because see, our problem is we keep thinking selling is things. I used to hate selling, but it wasn't really selling. It was what I thought selling was. I thought selling was some loud mouth talking, fast talking, somebody trying to sell me something that I can't afford. And no. More important than things is selling concepts and selling ideals. See, I used to sell myself on the fact that I couldn't do things. I used to sell myself on I'm not good at so-and-so. I used to sell myself, and now I learned to sell myself on the things I can do. By the way, if you fight for your limitations long enough, God may just allow you to keep them. So stop fighting for what's fighting against your success. So give me a call. Go to the website, drbreaktrough.com, or theinternet.mentor.com. Take the free course on selling. And there's another course called the Breakthrough Money School, because if you don't know how money works, all you can ever do is work for money. Once you learn how money works, you can put money to work for you, because money is a terrible master, but a great servant. So we're going to show you how to turn your slow-moving turtle money into fast reproducing jackrabbit money. And that's all free on the internetmentor.com. Those two lessons. I got some other things. And by the way, if they want to take that 21-day breakthrough challenge, which is only $197, I can give you a crazy Ricky Young discount. It's called an irresistible offer. And that is instead of when you go to the internetmentor.com, if you click on 21-day breakthrough challenge, by the way, take the other two ones for free, but the 21-day breakthrough challenge, you'll see $197. Click on coupon code and put the coupon code breakthrough, all lowercase, break, BREAK, through, THROUGH, and it's going to knock off $147 and let you get that 21 powerful videos, my friend. I have people that started on this challenge 4 months ago, and every month they go through it again. They say, man, every month they're getting something different. I just got a testimonial video. I'm going to send it to you. A lady said after 40 years of being married, her and her husband got a huge breakthrough in their marriage. And then they because of that breakthrough, another financial breakthrough where they made a decision together. First time in 40 years that they did it together. And it resulted in a $112,000 check. And she said, I'm about to go back and take the 21-day breakthrough challenge all over again. I said, I'm about to take it again myself.
Yo, so my final question is, I'm wearing this cap that says success habit. Now, you know we are creatures of habit.
Yes.
Can I have one success habit?
Okay.
You're tuned in to GHCR.NYC, Grant Houses Community Radio.
That is the beautiful Tina Dixon doing our station ID. One success habit.
The great success habit is being persistent. Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination are almost omnipotent, by Calvin Coolidge. So that's the greatest thing, just be persistent. As a matter of fact, my acronym for coach, COACH, challenging overcomers, advancing championship habits. That's what a coach does. Come on now.
That's it. I told my engineer before the show started, I said, man, Dr. Breakthrough might get out of hand, so I'm going to bring my gloves, right? Just in case. But I need it for another reason, man. To take this success game to the next level. I want to thank you, brother.
Well, thank you. My pleasure. My honor.
And I will be in touch, and we're going to do this again.
Okay. If you're waiting for me, you're already late.
All right. Thank you, man.
All right. We'll see you. Blessings.
All right. Blessings.
We'll see y'all.
All right. Okay.
Breakthrough time.
Brother Doug.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Stan Harris, Dr. Breakthrough.
Another powerful show by Mr. Rick Motivation Young.
I tell you, man.
He was energetic, and he kept it going for the whole time. And he was really a wonderful guest for day number 3, for show number 3.
How about that, man?
Yes,
wow, man.
I'm impressed.
He's a divine expression of God.
Oh, man.
That's what he is.
Man, what a bundle of energy he is, man.
Yeah, and so are you.
No, thank you, man. So are you.
Anybody that can step on that basketball court and roll with people like Joe Hammond and Ray Williams and all. Ray Williams?
What about Gus?
Man had legs like.
What about Gus?
I say. One of his legs made 2 of mine. 2 of my legs made 1 of his legs.
That man was strong. That was a strong man.
Yeah. I used to like Ray, man. Ray, he was with the Knicks at the time. I was liking the Knicks back then.
Well, he's a killer. He was a killer at small forward. That's all I know. He was ahead of his time because the way they got that small ball now, he's like a Russell Westbrook kind of a guy.
Yeah, he could jump too.
Oh my God!
Get up.
What?
Yeah.
Powerful.
But I like Gus, man. I was in love with Gus the way he played the game, man. I love the way Gus Williams played the game, man. When he won that championship with Seattle, man, that was just like, man, I just love him, man. Him, Dennis Johnson, Jack Sikma.
Wow.
Man, I love that team, man.
Don't forget Starvin Marvin. Marvin Webster. Marvin Webster. They used to call him Starvin.
Yeah.
Yeah, we played. He played for the Washington team when we played in the league. He was on the Washington team.
Right. I got him mixed up for a second there with Maurice Lucas. Because I seen Maurice Lucas, Dow Dawkins, center court, rings right in the middle of the ring. Both of them, man.